At this point, I don't even know if you remember it, but I think most don't. Most don't really remember the time before YouTube or the beginning of YouTube. And this is something that has gotten us into like this comfort position on how privileged, and we don't know how privileged we are with YouTube today. When I first started creating videos or making videos for the internet, there was no way I could nowhere I could share them with my friends, nowhere I could upload them, and nowhere that you could save these files. Just from I think it wasn't even a 720p camera, because it was. I had this camera before it was digital. Like I recorded tapes, and then I had to transfer all of these tapes by like playing them and then recording them via a cable called Firewire into my computer. And this process took 1-to-1 the time that I had recorded. So if I had an hour back then it was mostly gymnastics videos that I did. If I had like an hour of training session that I want to like record into the PC, I had to wait, and it had to sit there for an hour, and hopefully it didn't crash meanwhile doing this, and it had to record everything from this tape onto the computer. And this software, I had to pick already then the quality. I remember I couldn't even go up to 720p, I think, but maybe it was about, at some point I got to 720p. I don't know if it was different kind of tapes or if it was the same software or different kind of software. But back then I could have on my memory on my PC, I could have 2 of these 1 hour 720p, and then I had to delete one of them because I couldn't like have more than that in my storage. And I don't remember how much storage I have. I just remember that I could have 2. And then when I wanted to edit it, I couldn't like scrub, as it called today, to the timeline, because it was so slow. My PC couldn't handle it, so I couldn't like scrub the timeline. I had to guess somewhere, and I had to play it, and then it had to buffer, and then I had to play to see if I wanted that time. And then I had to like ruthlessly just cut out everything that I didn't want to, and then I have to save it. And most of the time, I would say 1 out of 3 times when I saved it, I tried QuickTime, Sony Vegas, and I think there was something before Sony or Adobe Premiere. I just don't remember what it was called, but QuickTime, Windows Movie Maker, and Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas was the software that I used for a long time for all of my videos. But it took me, I'd say, 1 hour to get these tapes in, and then it took me about half an hour or an hour to save it. So I don't really even know how long it took for me to edit these videos. But I still kept doing it. And back then, nobody watched it. There was no one. I didn't share these videos. In the beginning, I didn't share these videos with anyone. And in order to then share it with someone, I had to upload these videos somewhere. YouTube wasn't invented yet, or I think maybe it was about the same time that YouTube. I think YouTube is from 2007, but I'm not sure. It is also before Facebook was in Denmark, so there was nowhere to upload these videos. We are talking 2003, 4, and the peak time that I did this was 2005. So I had to learn how to make my own website to upload these videos. So I had to buy a domain, and I had no job, and I was a kid. Like, I had to ask my parents for help to buy a domain, and then I had to ask them to get to have hosting. And this is a hard time to explain to parents why you need to pay for hosting. But I had a hosting. I can't really remember how much I paid for hosting, but it was expensive back then. So in Danish terms, I think it was a few hundred kroner every month, which is, let's just say, $25 a month. As a kid, getting your parents to pay $25 a month for you to being able to upload videos that you have no idea if anyone's watching. I had to ask people in real life if they wanted to watch my videos and wanted to go to my site. I had no sort of analytics on how much they watched on my videos, if they watched my videos, or how much traffic I got on my site, or how much traffic I got on my site. The only real proof that I had starting to get some traction on this website was that I found out a way to, back then it was called a tag wall or a guest book you put on your website, where people could leave a comment on the website saying hi. And that later evolved into that I made it so that they could comment on each of the videos. And I got more and more of these comments. And I remember the peak for me was in, and that has been about 2005 or 6. I can't really remember because it was, maybe at that period, I was out at a gymnastics event, and somebody stopped me because I had made my own T-shirt with the website on it so that I could like promote it. Somebody stopped me and said they watched all of the videos that I've made and so on. And after that, people started sending me DVDs and tapes of their gymnastics videos so I could put it on the website. So this is much before YouTube, but the story is like, we need to know how privileged we are right now to just being able to record something and then upload it somewhere for free. One thing is that YouTube will maybe at some point, if we're lucky, pay us to upload videos to the service. That's crazy. But the fact that YouTube is free is insane. There is so much hosting required. Like, I had to delete videos from my website that I deemed wasn't as popular, and I just guessed because I didn't have infinite amount of hosting on my website back then. Now you can make these videos completely for free and just upload them. And now you even know if somebody's watching them. There's a backside to this as well, because it feels like nobody wants to make videos anymore if nobody's watching them. And I'm guilty of the same thing. But my first job as a kid was saving up for a video camera, and I'm still using almost all of my money on cameras. I don't know what it is with the love of cameras and making videos, but I'm trying to teach myself to still enjoy making these videos and enjoy uploading them. I think in the beginning I've found out that I did this because of the community that I was a part of back then, creating a community online. And the best thing I can say to you is that if you want to do this, do it hopefully you're creating a community, because there's very little chance that you will be the next creator with 1 million video views. But if you continue down this path, there's a very high likelihood that you will meet somebody, or like online meet somebody, or create a small community of like hundreds of people who likes your content, and maybe even thousands and thousands of people. But do it for the community. Create something that you are happy with uploading, and then makes you happy creating. Because the first hundreds of videos might be that nobody's watching, but do it for you. Do it because it's completely free to upload something on YouTube. And do it if you like making videos. Don't do it to try and make quick money. I think that's completely the wrong motivation for doing YouTube. And I think that will lead to burnout. And you know what? We should all be doing what we think is fun and what creatively fulfills us. Whether it's just like me talking to a camera right now, making a journal entry, or it's something that you want to express somehow somewhere else. just get around to do it.